Warning. The following presentation may contain excessive alcohol consumption, obscene language, controversial opinions, heavy metal, and actual wrestling chat. As such, it has been rated M for metal.
Welcome to the Mosh Pit. Welcome to the latest edition of Mickey's Mosh Pit. As usual, I'm your host, the heavy metal hooligan, Mickey Vago. Now, if you're watching this on the week of release, then this upcoming Saturday is the final WrestleZone show of the year. It's Christmas Chaos. I do believe there are still limited tickets available for this one. So if you are planning on going, I suggest to get your tickets sooner rather than later. As far as what I'm doing for this one, it's back team with Chris Archer. So it's myself and Chris Archer as the Rejected, taking on the team of Alan Sterling and Captain Alan Sterling, sorry, and Caleb Valhalla. So going by the guys in the match, this one's going to be a bit of a caper. We're going to have a bit of a nonsense. I am, just like the Halloween show, I am thoroughly looking forward to this. Get back in front of the crowd. Hopefully it's another hot crowd like back at the Halloween show. But yeah, we're just going to have a blast with it. And hopefully, going into next year, we'll get back to some sort of regularity and get to keep things going. But yeah, as I said, there are limited tickets left. So if you are planning on going, I suggest not waiting about to get tickets. As far as today's episode is concerned, we've got Luke King Sharp in, who's a guy who I know quite well. We debuted on the same WrestleZone show. We've teamed together. We've fought each other, so we do know each other quite well. And being the well-travelled international superstar that he is, he has got quite a few wild stories to tell. Which we'll get into. I will apologise in advance. The last 45 minutes or so, we did have some sound issues, although I didn't notice at the time. But after the spider incident, let's say, Lou came back and his microphone wasn't quite the same. For some reason, it had gone very quiet. I have tried to fix it as best as I can, but as you've seen for this shit show, editing is not my strong point. So for that last part, you'll just need to turn volume up to hear what he's saying. But yeah, so we'll just jump straight into it. So here it is. It is Luke King Sharp. Right, so welcome along to the latest edition of Mickey's Mosh Pit. Up today, we've got a genuine, authentic international superstar. He is your mother's favourite wrestler. He's the blood tourist. It's Luke King Sharp.
How you doing, mate?
How's it going, man?
Looking forward to Vegas. Do you want to start with D-Von Dudley, or will we do the intro first? You know what I mean? I can go on to that now.
Well, we'll wait. We'll get into it shortly. Because it could take up quite a bit, like you said.
Aye, we'll consider that a preview.
Like you want to talk
all I tell them is that we beat them, you know what I mean? But that's
I'll be living
just in various different ways.
Aye, it's like fucking I've told that story like umpteen times on this podcast now. I was like, come on, I beat D-Von Dudley.
Excellent.
But aye, like I said, it's fucking we've got wrestling back. Basically. Just about. It's getting there.
100%. We've got Fear and Loathing this weekend. The bars.
Right enough.
My first big crowd. So looking forward to that.
How much are they getting in for that?
No idea. But hopefully more than what we've been used to.
Aye.
So, aye. It's better than what we've had.
Aye. It'll be decent. Like I said, we were back. Last month, October was our first show, and see that first time through the fucking curtain, and it's just like They were just ready for it, like
100%,
just
100%. Bouncing backstage, like.
aye, couldn't wait. Well, especially fucking they made the mistake again, the Halloween brawl. So it was like fucking weapons and I was like, you fucked it.
First one back, you get scalped by a pumpkin.
Aye, basically. No, in fact, I was doing the scalping with the pumpkin. Fucking again, normally you do the fucking bit the pumpkin and you hit the boy with it, and then the boy again you start the bump with us. That's not it's a helmet. I've just keep button boys with it.
Brilliant.
Just a caper like it. But like we got in the WrestleZone, so the first time we crossed paths, I think we debuted for WrestleZone the same show.
Okay.
Was that Cloverleaf show?
Yeah, I wrestled Scotty Swift on that.
Aye. Like I wasn't actually wrestling, I did a run and saved Archer, but that was the same.
Okay.
We debuted the same show. And I remember, like I mind the boys telling me, I don't think you were 15 or something there.
16? 15 or maybe 16. Figure 16.
Because I was double your fucking age then. I was 30 when I fucking debuted. The boys were like, this boy's only 15 or whatever. I was like, fuck off.
I started young, man.
I like fucking, I listened to Billy Zine. I was like, fuck, was it 12, 13?
I had 12 when I started training. To be honest, I think I might have been 11. It was like the week before this. Some 12. Like, I can't really lie about my age or whatever. I remember I definitely lied about Jimmy Pierce's age. I used to be Owen Jacks.
Aye.
I definitely lied about his age when he started training. He's my wee cousin. I was like, yeah, he's the same age as me.
Aye. He's old enough, it's fine. You don't need proof. That check.
He showed up. He like when he was a kid, he used to look like Penfold. Do you know what I mean? He was like blatantly like 10 years old.
See, like I said, I mentioned that I was 30 when I started, but the guys all thought I was ages with Archer because Archer looked a lot older than he was, and I looked younger than I was. I was like, this boy's about fucking 20, mid 20s or whatever. I was like, I'll take that all day fucking long. Like it was a running joke. Me, Archer, and Garrick were running together for a wee while, and like Garrick's ages with me, so we're a good 10 years older than Archer is. And he's the veteran.
Yeah. Archer was always brilliant, man. I've not seen him in a while, but he was always class.
Aye, like nobody's got a bad thing to say about Archer. He's
nah. So he definitely really easy to get along with as well, but he was a really underrated wrestler in my opinion.
Like he did try and get fucking booked elsewhere like years ago. Not long after I started, I think, and he got booked. I think he did a couple of matches at Discovery when they first started.
Yeah.
I didn't really chase it up with that, I think.
See, I've never like I vaguely remember like being at a Discovery shows, but I've never really seen him other than at WrestleZone. But
aye.
I've always thought he'd be brilliant wherever he went in Scotland.
Aye, like he can work with anybody. That's the thing. You can do whatever you want him to do.
100%.
Aye, it's like again the thing at the time was like I just did fucking a kid or fucking the second kid at the time. It was like, look, Archer, I can't work. Like I've got fucking kids. I can't go traipsing off fucking out of the fucking country wrestling. But if you want to go fucking on, fill your boots and like I said, I think you ever chased it up. You never took it.
Yeah, they're fair play. Like so for some people, you know what I mean. It's not for them. You look at content doing what they're doing. Aye. But like, I definitely think if you ever wanted to, you know what I mean, definitely 100%.
That and his knees are completely fucked.
Made of sand at this point.
Just dust. That's no cartilage on him left. Just fucking dust. Aye, like I said, we debuted the same show, and then I think we were that was the same year. Like we were quickly thrown together. It was like you debuted for the WrestleZone, and I debuted for WrestleZone. It's like, here you go. You got into a 6-man with fucking D-Von Dudley. It's like
so that was just like your. I might say it was like your third match, wasn't it?
I thought it was. I looked it up today. It was my 7th match.
Your 7th match?
7th match. I did a run for my debut, and then I'd like a couple of singles. No, I had 2 singles. My 3rd match, I was in a 6-man with Grado.
Right.
On the opposite team. Then I had a tag match, another singles match, and another tag match, and then it was the fucking 6-man at Anarchy with D-Von Dudley.
Excellent.
Like,
Right in the deep end.
I genuinely thought they were taking the piss. I was like, just winding us up.
I remember like it getting announced and be like, oh, it's fucking brilliant, it's got D-Von Dudley, you know what I mean? And then getting to what we were in with him, you know what I mean? That was madness.
Aye, it was like she tried to put stuff like because I was like fucking. Well, like I said, it was my 7th match. And it's like you want to ken like every single fucking thing that's happened in the match and see the D1's like, nah, they plan that in.
If it's not Monday Night Raw, I'm not planning it. Like, that was literally not Monday Night Raw. I ain't planning shit. This is fucking WrestleMania for me.
Aye, so I might Bill had this thing where like it was D-Von can chuck. I think it was you onto me and Archer, or it was Archer onto me and you. It was one of the two. And they told D-Von just looked at him like, Kenny, did we think you? Nah, when they did that.
The one I always remember is he was like insistent. Like I was insistent that he called Summit to me before I went out. I think I must have asked him like what he wanted to do about a million times before I went out. But he was insistent that like his sort of shine that he was just gonna call it in there.
Aye.
He just sent me off the ropes about flying burrito. I'm just running back like that. Fucking no idea, man. Turns out it was the Tito Santana. It was a fucking running forearm. This is what Tito Santana called it. You know what I mean?
I was like, I just genuinely shitting you. I was genuinely shitting myself. I was like, I done with
100%. 100%, man. That was fucking terrifying. Like, it made me pray, but I've told the story on the fucking Billy's podcast and stuff as well, but we prayed together before we went out. Like, just like we said, just that way.
I mind that.
Standing backstage, yeah. And just like so, I got to fucking shake his hand and be like, "I'll see you out there," kind of thing.
Because like
I was like, "Oh, good luck." He was like, "Oh, now we're gonna ask Jesus for good luck." He fucking takes my hand. He's fucking feel gripping my hand. You know what I mean? I'm just like, no, that the whole time. Fucking shitting myself. You know what I mean? He's like, "How do you feel?" And I'm like, "Brilliant, mate." Shoot.
Exactly. Like she was sitting like halfway up the stairs. And I mind we were following you up, and you stopped to say like, and they did that thing, and me and Archer just standing there awkward, like, I we just push past, or we just stand here and wait. I do we wait our turn, and what the fuck we're supposed to do here?
Excellent, man. He was a character, but he was like the fucking coolest guy in the world.
He was a fucking belter. I like it, especially like I heard on Billy's podcast, you were an ECW guy. I was an ECW guy. So
yeah,
like, getting to fucking guys, I just popped me in the end, man.
100%, man. No, that was brilliant, man. Like that show as well, just like all the fucking Aberdeen Anarchy shows in general are always class. Like the folk they get over, man. I was supposed to be in the Santino match.
I was about to say you'd like the imports like you're meant to get them 4 years in the fucking bounce.
Yeah, I took the booking at first. And I'd already booked like to go to New York and stuff. I'd already booked the flight ticket and essentially double booked myself. Like I didn't put it in my wrestling calendar kind of thing, so I had to pull out. But I was fucking gutted, man, because that would have been the main deck with Santino and Krieger, Santino and Grado. Sorry, that would have been class.
Santino was a fucking belter. We did a seminar with him before the show.
Oh,
and we all got changed in our hand, and he didn't actually. He turned around and he just stood there and spoke and walked us through shit for like 2 hours. Yeah. Like he didn't actually do any physical stuff. He's just like just that psychology stuff. And you look at me like, okay, Santino Morella, how much does he ken? It's like he kens on.
Oh, 100%, man. He's like quite legit as well. From like obviously, I never like met him or anything, but from like what I hear, he's quite, you know what I mean, well trained, like his judo and all that sort of stuff.
I couldn't either.
You know, this kind of stuff.
I couldn't mind which guy, but I it was some kind of martial arts he did. But
yeah.
He was.
I'm sure Deck told me something about him getting sort of flung about a bit. Flung about a bit, followed by the fucking
Cobra, like the most ridiculous thing in wrestling, and it's fucking brilliant.
Excellent, man. No, I was gutted I never got to do that one. Am I right in saying you and Archer were in the Carlito match as well?
Aye, we got stuck together again for the second year.
Yeah, I had however many, probably about 1,000 folk or whatever they get for Aberdeen Anarchy, all chanting at me that I've got a wee willy. The fucking nugget dick or whatever they were
Aye.
calling me, fucking the Hurricane. I was like, what a fucking surreal moment, man. My mom and dad had they'd always seen like do you know what I mean, all the stuff I was doing up at WrestleZone and all that,
Aye.
and I was compared to what I was doing elsewhere at the time, it was fucking massive. So they were like, oh, we're gonna come up, and yeah, I came up fucking 5 minutes in, Hurricanes chanting that I've got a wee dick. Whole crowd's fucking chanting along with him.
He was another they were a good guy like Hurricane Carlito.
Yeah, they all sound as well, man.
Can't say the same against Bull, but it's I can't you've made up with him since, but I thought he was
No, I thought at the time, you know what I mean. I didn't get along with him, but I've since made up with him, and he's been on the dojo and all that, and I got along quite well with Bill now.
See, I like after that, I was like, he's a prick. And then after I thought about that, I thought, Kenny's just got released with WWE's getting I like to be a chip on his shoulder or nothing. But then we had a seminar with him I don't know how many months it would have been after, 6 months maybe. He was up and he'd worked ICW the night before. And he'd obviously been out with the fucking boys at ICW and just got fucking hammered because he come up and he was hungry as fuck and he just couldn't be fucked. I was like, come on, I've paid fucking 20 quid for this. Like he was like he was like 4 hours fucking late, and then it's like just couldn't be fucked, and it was just dicked about for an hour. I was like, yeah, I was right the first time.
I feel so, but my main issue is like basically he was asking like how to post and stuff. And like I felt kind of mugged off, do you know what I mean? But like we've since spoke about it, do you know what I mean? He was like, well, you know what I mean, I'm going all over the place wrestling all these different people. I don't really know. And I was like, well, do you know what? In fairness, like he's probably showing up in fucking random towns, random countries he's never been to. He doesn't fucking know me from Adam.
Aye.
You know what I mean? So in fairness, you know what I mean, whatever. And then he came on the dojo and he was brilliant on the dojo as well. And he's been a big help to me trying to get about in America and stuff as well. So fair play to him. I got along really well with him now.
Aye. He's still in. But aye, that was another I mind speaking to Bill before that match. Like, because we were doing to lose that, and I was like, come on, just fucking let's beat them. Because we can live off that for we can live off this for another fucking year. Is
that the one that we had it was like the 0-1 fucking
the greatest streak in professional wrestling or whatever it was, just the 1-0. That was it. I was like, just let us beat them. Just fucking doesn't matter what it was, just let's fucking go and we can live off that. We can heal out for another fucking year. Until
the next import comes in, Alec.
Aye. That's what I was angling at. Politicking another fucking match with imports.
Get his hardcore Holly or some shit, you know.
Aye, but like I said, and then the year after that was the year after you ended up with Hornswoggle, was it?
I think that was the year. No, it was the year before Hornswoggle. And it was the year after I wrestled Hornswoggle. That was a great laugh as well, man. He was funny as fuck. Like he insisted that the fucking cut off just be like that. I just put my hand over his face and just fucking fling.
That fucking face palm was tremendous.
I felt like the fucking great Khali, man. It was excellent. And mate, I'm pretty sure he gave me like a German suplex or some shit. But like whatever it was he gave me, like he fucking nailed me. He could fucking go, man. Fair play to him. Like I remember as well, like it was the way he planned the match, like he done that kind of thing you were saying about D-Von Dudley. That's you know what I mean, and all that thing Americans do where they go like, and then he would be like, I'll kick you in the shin and then headbutt you in the balls. You know what I mean? Like, but he's gone for it as if it's going to be this big fucking swan song. You know what I mean? Excellent, man. It was a good laugh.
But he's another one that you think can Hornswoggle can fit the radio on. But I mind like the boys that were in the ladder match that night, they were putting stuff together, and there was something they couldn't figure out. Then he just happened to be in there, fucking trying to climb the fucking see if he could get up the top rope or can climb the buckles, and he just generally just like shouted out like, "Can just do this," and I can't remember what the spot was, but they used it. It's like, again, if you boys that have been in WWE, like it doesn't matter how far up or down the card where they've been in the fucking kind of work WrestleManias and they can't fuck this fight of it.
Do you know what I mean? They've been in that position. Like you can't help but learn. You know what I mean, from being in that situation, and as a whole different kettle of fish, being able to work with like the trainers and the producers and all the kind of the people that they have, even if You know, like even somebody who's not necessarily on TV, they're still getting some level of coaching for,
Aye.
or like Michael Hayes and all this, these kind of guys that they have backstage. Do you know what I mean? So
Aye.
you can't help but know what you're talking about.
Aye, you've got to pick up fucking knowledge for
Yeah.
bits and pieces for these different boys you're fucking speaking to and seeing and all, yeah.
100%. I actually found when I was doing like the dojo stuff, like some of the best classes were with people that you wouldn't necessarily like have expected it from.
Aye.
Like Jimmy Rave was a good one. There was Mikkey Whipwreck and stuff, and it's like guys who weren't necessarily, you know, the hugest stars
Aye.
on TV, but that like they certainly knew what they were talking about. You know what I mean? And they've been in, you know, they've been around that sort of situation for long enough that
Aye.
I like I said, you can't help but know what you're talking about.
Aye.
Especially in America as well. Like you get one run on TV and you've wrestled like fucking 10 superstars. You know what I mean? Fucking Steve Austin, The Rock, fucking whoever. You know what I mean? You had one run in 1999 and you wrestled fucking everyone. You know what I mean? Like,
I say I wanted to jump on with that. I can't remember what it was. There was someone that I couldn't make it. I was like, Mike, because like I said, the ECW guys, like Mikey Whipwreck, fucking, I'm all over that. I was like,
Mickey Whipwreck was a fucking excellent class. I got to be honest, I'd probably say he might be the best one, to be honest.
Aye.
Like he was just so good. I can't remember all the names off the top of my head as well. But like and I never really knew, and like until I'd booked the class. He trained one of my mates, like that kind of known from China and that.
All right. Good.
So I knew he was a trainer and stuff, and obviously I knew him from ECW and stuff. But I was looking up stuff that I could kind of plug for the class.
Yeah.
I was trying to see, you know, I wonder if he's trained any kind of big stars, and the list was ridiculous, man. The Amazing Red, Jay Lethal, like there was all sorts on there. You just wouldn't really have expected. Do you know what I mean? But like a lot of the sort of New York scene all came, you know, through him.
Aye. Like I said, he was a guy. Fucking like you said, he had a fucking good run. Fucking he wrestled all these fucking top boys, and he's fucking bound to pick fucking this fucking shit up. And for him to pass it on is fucking like yourself that you're doing, like passing fucking knowledge on to fucking kind of other boys. It's tremendous. Like
I think it's quite rewarding, you know what I mean? Like, and from like a more sort of selfish standpoint as well. Like it's another sort of avenue you can go down. You know what I mean? Just like there's more than just going out and having matches.
Aye.
You know what I mean? Like obviously I've looked into like doing the dojo, and I want to be involved in wrestling in every aspect that I can be. You know what I mean? Because realistically, if you want to be a full-time wrestler, it's probably not, unless you're in WWE or AEW, or, you know what I mean, you've got one of these big contracts.
Aye.
You're probably not going to be a full-time wrestler just from having wrestling matches. You know what I mean? You got to expand. You know what I mean? You got to try some other stuff as well. But I've always really enjoyed like doing coaching and stuff. Like I've like, you know, so while I was still training, I was, you know, assisting with classes and stuff, and I was always like looking into doing that side of things. But I always thought the dojo was really rewarding because like the guys that were on from like Brazil and all this, you know what I mean? There was a boy I'd known him from my time out there, but he was from Taiwan, and like he done one of the dojo classes like during an earthquake. You know what I mean? And it was like this was at like 3 a.m. and all this as well. Like, so some of the dedication, do you know what I mean? The people from all these like wild places, do you know what I mean? All coming together for wrestling. So I always really enjoyed that. I thought that was really cool.
Aye, it's like I said, I like the idea of coaching, but I couldn't do it. It's something I just can't do. Like if there's guys coaching and I'm there, I can chip in bits and pieces here and there. But see, sitting doing it like I don't care what to fucking start. It's like,
I feel it's definitely like not something that everyone, you know what I mean, should do. But it's definitely something that I want to keep getting on about.
So you're training it. Is it respect?
Respect, so ideally, I should be there 5 times a week. I'd probably make it in about 3. I should be taking about 5 classes a week. Sorry, I usually end up taking about 3. But they do kids classes, which is it's not wrestling. You know what I mean? You're just
Aye.
teaching them like choke slams and RKOs and a crash match. You're playing wrestling. Who wants to make an entrance? You know what I mean? But like, yeah, do you know what I mean? It's like the way I see it is like they go to karate, they go to boxing, they go to taekwondo.
Aye.
You know what I mean? Where they're actually going to be punching and kicking and throwing each other about. What harm is it going to do if they want to come on and play wrestling for an hour so they don't do it to each other in the fucking schoolyard? You know what I mean? Like,
Aye, at least teach them to do it right. Aye.
in like the fucking back garden or something.
Aye.
But we do 2 kids classes, and then there's 3 adult classes that we do as well. So that's a Wednesday, a Thursday, and a Sunday, and that's from Kilburnie in Ayrshire. But there's a brilliant group of boys and lasses through there as well. Logan Lee, Ewan Raw, Ruby Roberts are the 3 sort of ones that jump out to me straight away.
Aye.
They've all been, you know what I mean, they've all been sort of breaking out a wee bit. I think personally Ruby Roberts is one to keep an eye on. I don't think she's had too many matches on live shows. She was on Pro Tour. I know she's had a couple for Respect.
Aye.
But the stuff that I've been seeing her doing in training, she's been doing a lot of sort of cool lucha libre sort of stuff that, you know, she's not yet to use on shows. So I think once she starts sort of busting some of the stuff out for a live crowd, she's really going to take off.
Aye. That's decent, like.
No, I'm looking forward to seeing that, man. I'm looking forward to seeing that. It's like she's different, so that'd be cool.
Aye. It's what you need though in wrestling. So you can't have do the same fucking Johnny kick pads and fucking give it like.
Yeah. It's like you don't see like a lot of girls that do like sort of, you know, lucha libre kind of stuff, or at least I personally I've not like seen a lot of girls do it. You know, so when she started like busting it out and she's like, you know what I mean, like she's been taught stuff and she's like nailing it first time, like she's like a natural, you know what I mean? So it's gonna be cool once you really goes her selling it.
I dated training just to pop the boy, like badly, no good, just bad lucha.
Well, that's kind of what it's like when I'm like coaching her. You know what I mean? I'm like a monkey falling out of a tree, and then she just fucking nails it, and I'm like, yes. Like,
I like that.
As long as she gets the kind of general vibe of it, you know. What I mean? Which is enough. That's how you need.
Aye, it's good coaching, is it?
You just need a blueprint. You know what I mean?
I just a rough draft and.
Yeah, that's enough.
Aye, but like the coaching and whatever, but it's. Like I was looking up, I didn't generally do research for these things. Like I listened to your podcast with Billy.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's wild the amount of places you fucking actually worked. Like I knew it was a lot. I didn't realise it was that much.
I've got about, man. It's CVs. That's what I say to everybody. That was the main thing that I always harped on about in that dojo. And if anybody took it and from it, I hope it was that. I get fucking everybody coming up to me. How do you get all these fucking international bookings? You know what I mean? They're almost like as if like, you're shite. How the fuck are you getting? the way these cunts fucking say it to me. But I always get cunts coming up and asking me, and I'm like, well, have you messaged them? Have you ever sent like, oh, how did you get booked in Denmark? Have you ever tried to get booked in Denmark? No. Well, actually, you never. You know what I mean? Like, if you wanted a job in Tesco, would you just wait on fucking Tesco phoning you and be like, hi there, we're looking to bring in a new fucking trolley boy? Like, it doesn't fucking work like that. You got to apply for work. But the CV, if any young wrestlers are watching, get your fucking CV sent out.
Aye, but like, how much countries is it you've actually worked in the?
I think it's 11.
11.
11. I guess
that's mad.
The first sort of outside of like the UK one that I done was Denmark. And when I went out and done that, I met. It was a training thing that I was doing, and I was training with boys that were from Sweden, and the coach was from Finland, and like these kind of smaller scenes, like you find that like, you know what I mean, there isn't a lot of wrestlers in these places, so they're booking a lot of outside talent. Aye. And then a lot of the time it'll end up that, you know, these outside talent, like the Swedish guy and the Finnish guy, ran promotions in their respective countries. You know what I mean? So they then see me there.
You've got an in there, aye.
Yeah, so then, you know what I mean, you pop up in Sweden, you meet a guy from Germany, or you know what I mean, you go to Finland, you meet a guy from Russia, like you end up boom. hopefully, you know what I mean. If you're lucky, you end up bouncing a bit away, but
Aye. Like
at
I
least
said,
that's how it works for me.
it's what it is, just fucking hustling. Like I said,
Absolutely.
I've never really looked into or tried to get booked anywhere other than WrestleZone. But like, if I was to, that would be my first thing. It's just I'll just message fucking everybody.
Oh, that's what you need to do. Like, even like there was some people who would kind of like they would embrace the CV thing, and I always found they were like really, really enthusiastic. Yes, I'm gonna send out CVs, and then they'll message me a week later and be like, "Oh, I sent out 10 CVs and nobody got back to me." Like, yeah, I send out 100 CVs a day. You know
I say,
what I mean? And it's like
there's 10 promotions in fucking Glasgow. It's like
yeah, exactly. Like it's like fishing. You know what I mean? You just got to keep at it, and maybe you'll get a bite. You know what I mean? But if you do get a bite, you're gonna eat well. You know what I mean?
Aye.
You gotta do all right.
Well, like you said, you get in one promotion, then you fucking you can networking at the fucking you get about and you get boys that are getting booked elsewhere, you're getting in with them and fucking getting put a word in for us here or there. Or I imagine that's how it works.
Absolutely, like in Europe especially, or like at least in like sort of Scandinavia, like as I said, you know the Danish promotions are using Swedish guys and you know the Finnish guys and vice versa. So like, you know, you're wrestling on one Danish show and wrestling in front of 3-4 promoters.
Aye,
You know what I mean? So it's a lot easier to then stand out to someone else. You know what I mean? Once you get in one of the places, you know what I mean?
Aye, it's like I said, it's just fucking mad to me.
No, like I've always like why not? You know what I mean? Everywhere, you know, everywhere and anywhere. Like it's a charity. Like I would never have went to Denmark. I would never have went to anywhere in Scandinavia. Really, you know what I mean? A lot of the places that I've wrestled. But you know, that's one of the things about wrestling. It's just it's unique about it. Do you know what I mean? If you let it, you know what I mean. It can take you to all these wild places. You know what I mean? You can have all these sort of life experiences. Like I think I was really lucky in that sense that like obviously I was really young, and I was getting to travel a bit to you know Scandinavia and Europe and you know getting a bit. Yeah, like I was saying, it's life experiences really. Do you know what I mean? It's just a cool thing to have, you know, to be able to say that I done.
Aye, like I said, same. Like if I'd started like 10 or 15 years before I actually did start wrestling, I would have took a lot more seriously and tried to get booked a lot more fucking places. But it's like kids and mortgage and like it's too much.
I feel you. No, I feel like I said, like it's different for everybody.
Aye.
You know what I mean? For me, I'm kind of like, how many free holidays can I get out of this fucking shit? like, because you're not just there to wrestle, you're usually there for a couple of days, like, so you usually get to, if you know what I mean, if you're lucky to do a wee bit of travel and see some sights and stuff as well. So it's pretty cool, man.
Aye. I assume that's how you got into the China thing. Just fucking
China was random as fuck, man. Like, it was this guy Sean McMahon, and I don't even know if McMahon's his real name, to be honest. Like, I wouldn't even be surprised if that wasn't his real name. But like he just sort of, I just seen it. He added me on Facebook like out of nowhere, and it was like just this marketing guy or whatever. And I was like, I just thought he was like maybe a fan or something.
Aye.
And I seen it that he posted like just on his Facebook, "Oh, who wants to go and wrestle in China?" I just happened to come across it. Like I was like, "Fuck it, I'll see if I can go to China."
In fact, I vaguely remember that because I'm sure he fucking.
Like I was just like, fuck it, I'll take a chance on it, you know. And I messaged them, was like, you sent them my CV essentially, and then I got put in this big group chat, and there was all sorts of people in it. But it was supposed to be myself, Rob Sharp, and Martin Kirby that were all going to go in the end, and then obviously Martin Kirby got his stuff with Dragon Gate, so it ended up just myself and Rob Sharp.
Aye.
But the way this was G'd up to us was, and we kind of were like, from the outside it was easy to believe it, because they sold it as essentially this was AEW's NXT, but like because they did have a partnership with AEW technically, so we were obviously a bit naive and just totally bought it. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, you're gonna, as soon as you get off the plane, there's gonna be a fucking documentary team. they're going to be filming you coming into fucking China and all the rest of it. They like G'd it up as if we were going to be the fucking kings of China, you know what I mean? And we got there and there was fucking human excrement in our clothes.
I remember seeing that on Facebook.
Yeah,
It's
like, I found the
fuck.
fucking video and shit. Like, man, we showed up, there was. I was going to say on my bed. I didn't have a bed. I had the frame of a bed. I didn't have a mattress, and I had fucking blood-stained sheets.
Fuck that.
No, it was just fucking technical difficulties. It was a fucking, when we showed up, it was a fucking disaster, man. The walls were fucking moldy and shit. Like, I was like, we had been. I thought I was going to be the fucking king of the world. You know what I mean? Like, I'd invited my now fiance. I was like, "Here, come." Like, she quit a job and everything. You know what I mean? Like, she's gonna just come and live in China. You know what I mean? We're gonna be fucking kings of China. Of course, she quit a job. You know what I mean? I showed up, the fucking walls are moldy and shit. I don't have a mattress. She's getting here in 2 weeks. Like, I gotta fucking do some shit. You know what I mean? I'm fucking first 3 days in China. We're on my knees scrubbing the fucking mold off the walls.
Aye, fucking dodged the bullet and he taking her away the fucking first day.
Well, like, see, like, yeah, man. If she had showed up, like, if she had fucking showed up, like, on that, I should have killed me. I had this big grand idea as well, that I was like, I bought this fucking 3-piece suit and shit, because I proposed, like, basically, my idea was she's going to come through the gate, and I'm just going to be there, on my knee, waiting to fucking ask her to marry me, right? Because she moved across fucking across the world to be with me, right? So that was my big grand plan, which was obviously a fucking disaster. First part of it's a disaster is Shanghai is fucking piping, and I'm wearing a 3-piece suit, so I'm absolutely fucking drenched in sweat. I'm starting with my English. I was taken there by my English translator, who didn't speak English, and then Roshin, my fiance, didn't get through the border. Like, she didn't know the address that she was going to live at, which basically she needed to get through. So she's not getting through the border. I'm my only contact, or my only way to get in contact with is a guy who doesn't speak English. And I'm sitting here in a fucking 3-piece suit, drenched in sweat, so I'm fucking charging up and down the airport. And by the time I actually, like, eventually she just put down some like bullshit address or whatever, and then she ended up getting through. And by the time I actually found out, I'm pissing a sweat and fucking blowing out my arse, and I was like, it was a fucking disaster. The whole trip. It was again, brilliant life experience, total fucking disaster.
So I think you didn't like learn any like Chinese before you fucking got there, or?
The only thing I learned was, "Hi, my name is Chris. Thank you very much," and that was the only thing I could say. I did try, but it's fucked up, man. Like it's not words, it's like symbols, and the symbols can like 6 different fucking things, and there's different alphabets or whatever, and the writing is completely different to the speaking, and it's fucked up. Like, I had no chance. You know, I didn't, absolutely not. Like, but I learned how to say that, and I found just speaking English really loudly kind of got me through most situations. Pointing, you know what I mean? I had a thing on my phone that would translate stuff into Chinese. It seemed to do it quite well. I hope it did. Do you know what I mean? Because I had no idea what I was fucking saying. Like, just, you know. But it was a different world.
It's just wild, like just wild.
I mean, the main thing that like sort of threw me off was like how much shit was alive in the supermarket. Like the fish, they had like tanks of fish. And they were like surprised that we'd never seen this before, you know what I mean? Because it's just totally not. Any supermarket had it.
It's just normal to them, but
Yeah, like tanks of fish, you know what I mean? They're swimming around, and some of them also had lobsters in them, which would then like fight the fish. But they were just like swimming around, and they have like, you know, that those like bread clamps, you know what I mean, like barbecue sort of clamps or whatever. They would just have them like sort of hanging over the tank, and people would walk up with a trolley and just take a live fish just fuck it in the trolley. You know what I mean? Like it'll be flapping around and shit. You know what I mean? It's like next to like the cereal and fucking everything. Like, you know what I mean? Like everything else, but it's still alive. Just fucking flapping around. Nets just full of live, drugged up frogs. You know what I mean? Like but they're alive. They're croaking. They're just not doing shit. You know what I mean? But that threw me off.
I just mental like it. Just I can't imagine it. Just fucking. It's like I said, it's just wild.
I got so fat, man, because like the only thing that basically when we got there, like we went to KFC, and like I'm like demolishing some fucking popcorn chicken, and Rob Sharp bites into his burger, and he was like, "Oh mate," and he shows me, and it's just all brown, like all the meat, you know what I mean? So it's brown meat, and I've tanked like half a packet of this popcorn chicken, you know what I mean? And I like opened up, and sure enough, mine was the exact same. And one of the American guys who obviously just didn't care, like he knew and was just sort of fine with it, was like, "Oh yeah, I've been to China before, like the food standards and stuff aren't the same here, and like sometimes you use pigeon." Like,
that.
so apparently, I don't know how true that is, but apparently we ate pigeon, and that like threw me off. And I spent the rest of the time, I trusted McDonald's and Papa John's, and that was it. Like, so I pretty much just lived on that. Like in fact there was one like little Italian restaurant like just down the road that I would eat there sometimes. You know what I mean? But other than that, McDonald's and Papa John's the whole time.
Mental. Like, how long were you there for?
About 3 months, I think it was. Just under 3 months.
Like was the wrestling
But,
there?
Different is one way to put it. So fucking Sema basically trained them all for some reason, like Mexican style, like lucha libre sort of style.
Right, okay.
So they all worked like the right side.
Aye. I was just about to say they're working the opposite side, aye.
Yeah, so that was fucking insane. But you know what I mean? There was like there was like Americans and stuff who, you know, worked obviously the same way we do, so we kind of blended with them. But the Chinese guys ourselves, there was guys from Taiwan who were really good. But like the sort of OWE guys ourselves, it was like none of them were really wrestlers. A lot of them had came from like martial arts schools or gymnastics schools, or they did like various different backgrounds. One of them was like a boxer and stuff.
Aye.
And then basically the guy who ran OWE would like, you know, go around these places and like recruit these guys to like get them to become wrestlers, kind of thing.
Aye.
So like they had no concept of like psychology. They basically just was like, what's the fucking coolest shit that you can do?
Aye, just
It would
spot
just
fest.
be like, you duck my backflip with a backflip, and then we both land into a backflip. You know what I mean? Like, then a double drop kick. Like, it was just spot. Not like a lot of it wasn't even offensive. You know what I mean? It was just cunts just doing backflips, and you know what I mean, just doing wild shit. And then like the whole roster, pretty much like obviously not fucking me, but like all the kind of Chinese guys would all like break dance at the start of the show. Like the heels, faces, everyone was out together, and they would do it. It was like martial arts breakdancing. It was cool as fuck, in fairness. But they would do this like breakdancing with fucking samurai swords and maces and fucking what's that thing that's on a fucking chain and you swing it about, and fucking they had all sorts, man. It was fucking wild. But aye, so it was a bit different from what I was used to on fucking the holiday parks.
Aye. Aye. It's so. Are they still going? Like.
So the reason I left was I don't really know, to be honest, what's happening with them. Like the reason I left, I was supposed to come back for the UK tour, which obviously that whole thing was just a fucking shit show. And it was supposed to be like there were two separate companies, OWE UK and OWE that I worked for were like they were different entities. You know what I mean? Different companies. You said like the same name essentially. But it was supposed to be the UK company was supposed to be paying for me to go back to China, which is essentially why we never went back, because they just fucked off. So they never paid for us to go back, but it wouldn't have been China, sorry, it would have been Cambodia, because the whole company just sort of relocated to Cambodia, and this had started while we were there. They had I think it was two dojos and like 3 like martial arts schools, because they'd done like martial arts shows and all this kind of stuff as well. So we had like 3 martial arts schools, and we would keep stuff in the dojo because all the shows were in the dojo, and you know what I mean. You'd leave your gear there, and you know what, various stuff, your boots, whatever else. And they were like, everything needs to be taken out of the dojo, like the whole thing's getting shut down. And we think that this is going to be like a process. And we showed up to like literally in space like 24 hours. Like we showed up and the whole thing was shut down. All of the dojos, all of the martial arts schools, everything. They were just like, no, we are going to Cambodia. So I'm like, some dodgy shit is going on here. You know what I mean? They've just packed up and ran. So they ended up going to Cambodia. And I think that went a bit tits up, and I think we're back in China now, and I don't really know what's going on with them. But I'll not be back.
That's what I'm saying. They go back then.
I would. Well, in fairness, I would like. I'd love to go back to China, but maybe for somebody else. You know, what I mean, there's other promotions there. There's MKW. You know, and that's Middle Kingdom Wrestling. There's WLW because I did work for a different promotion while I was there as well. I've only done a couple of matches for them. But I had a lot of fun working for them.
Aye.
So if I could go back there maybe for somebody else, that would be cool. I've got pals there as well that still live there. Big Buffer, who was on the dojo and stuff. He stayed in New York originally, but he's relocated to China. He started like a clothing brand and all that out there. So I would like to go back and obviously see some pals and stuff when I was there. But maybe no for OWE because that was
Fight your own hotel,
get my own digs this time.
It's like I had a buddy years ago. Like he was training to be a stuntman, so he went and trained with like the Shaolin monks and he was there for like a year or 2 years or something. And like it like he told the stories and it wasn't even half as mad as the stories you're telling there.
Like there was a couple of the guys that were at OWE, that were like from like Shaolin monk kind of schools and stuff.
Aye.
But it was mental, like because you would see like the classes and stuff, like the schools, like walking about like in like the city centre and just like in general you see them cutting about. But like kids like really young, you know what I mean? Like I don't know, say like when you usually start school, like maybe 4 or 5 or whatever, and you'd get like sent away essentially like a boarding school kind of thing, you know what I mean? But you'd go to like a kind of martial arts school, and it was like, you know what I mean, really, really common. Like most of the OWE boys, that's what they had done. And like pretty much had spent most of their life like in this martial arts school as opposed to like at home, you know what I mean?
Aye.
It's wild, man. They like literally train from like, as I said, like 4 or 5 years old to like the other Shaolin monk stuff, man. It's insane.
Like you see the videos on YouTube, man. It's kind of all these, like you're saying, like 4 or 5 year olds and they're kind of thinking fucking split kicks in hand. And it's like fuck that.
Yeah, there was one guy. His name was just Shaolin Monk. But he worked for OWE. He wasn't there. I think he had left by the time. By the time I had got there, it turned out that the whole Shaolin monk thing was just a gimmick. He was actually a fucking lunatic. But he fucked, like, you know what I mean? Like, pure fucking, he was wild, you know what I mean? That's what I heard anyway. But he like fucked off over. But he was cool as fuck, man. Like he done like essentially the same kind of stuff that you would see in these like Shaolin monk shows or like on the videos and stuff online. But he would like incorporate it into the wrestling, like doing all sorts of mad like head springs and all this kind of shit. But I wouldn't, man. Like I definitely recommend like checking his stuff out.
It's like when I was a kid, I always wanted to fucking like I saw kickboxer and like blood sport when I was a kid. I was like, I want to do kickboxing, and my mom would never let me. She's like, you can do karate or do you not want to do karate and do you want to do fucking kickboxing? I just never did it. Like just do a stubbornness. I'm not doing that. Fuck you. I regret it now. Like I wish I'd have done something like that, but
See, I've always considered getting something like maybe like BJJ or something like a try. Like I listen to like Joe Rogan a lot, and he's always going on about it. And like I think about it, and then there's that part of me that reminds me, I don't want to get like punched in the face, so like putting a headlock on it. Like, you know what I mean? I'll be like, he's up, you know what I mean? Fucking hell.
I didn't really want to be legitimately choked out. Nah, it's
yeah, like fuck that, you know what I mean? I maybe watch a video where someone talks about it. No, but like that's about it. Like,
I thought I mind fucking weird. I don't know if you mind him. Jimbo, we had the wrestles on for a wee while. He wrestled
made.
He wrestled in a purple singlet, and he did all that, but he was just. I don't think he could separate the BJJ for the wrestling. Like he was just too fucking stiff, and he was like, I just clocking boys and
launching cuts about.
It's like, nah, it's not wrestling's not for you, son. Just get back to fucking choking boys out and, like you said, just punching folk in the face.
No, some folks, you know what I mean, when they've got that, like MMA sort of background, like it helps them adapt. You know what I mean? Because like it's a lot of the same sort of movements and motions and stuff. But some folk just can't separate the two, and it's just pure, like I said, clotting kids. Like,
in fact, now I think of it, he was in I want to say it was an 8-man or a 10-man match we had. I was you and 4 boys for Sterling Oil against me and Archer. It was a weird fucking, and it was just like, I'm sure it was a rumble or something. So it was just like, here's some boys and we'll just throw them in this match, whatever. But it was me and Archer, Grado, Boy Jimbo, and I'm sure it was Johnny Lyons was the 5th man. Just like, hey, here's 5 boys all day.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he was in that match, and he's like, in fact, I remember because he chased you in the crowd, but then like you got as far, like you can, like in another hotel, like it's only like the first couple of rows are only so far back before you hit the wall.
Yeah.
And like you're up against the wall, and he's still trying to chase you. Like, Jimbo, you can't go any further. You just need to stop. And just.
I've been in that situation like many times, and I'd like to admit, you know what I mean? I've just ran out of a wall and went, fuck.
Aye, it's like there's nothing I can do at this point. It's like you just need to just fuck off, would you? But aye, it's like it's just a fucking wrestling's just a fucking caper. Well, it is. Let's be honest.
Oh, shambolic, man. It's the weirdest fucking job in the world, isn't it? Like, and there's I can't think of anything else. Do you know what I mean? Where you would be in the situations that wrestling puts you in. You know what I mean?
Nah.
In China with a Shaolin monk eating pigeon. You know what I mean?
Aye, it's like I said, it's just it's wild. Like it's just fucking mad. There was one other thing I'd like to speak about international stuff. Was it you that I read was banned for Nigeria?
Like technically, I guess so. There's a promotion back in the day, and they were the fucking drizzling shits, man. SSW. In fairness, they gave me a start. Like I wrestled there a lot when I was like starting out and stuff, but it was the fucking dregs, man. Like I always remember the fucking ring. The ring had like this bit. It was just fucked. It was just like you had to sign. I mean, like when I was fucking 15, man. Like if you told me you were gonna put me on a wrestling show, I'd sign fucking anything. Like so, like I signed the fucking waiver. Essentially, like, do you know what I mean? That I could wrestle in the shit ring because it was like you'd be running the ropes and you'd be fucking, you know what I mean? Get up and down hill. There's big dip in the fucking ring. If you fucking take a bump, you know what I mean? Like falling down a hole, you're like, fuck! It was fucking. I'm pretty sure I also signed a contract that like basically they own all of the footage of me ever, like and forever. So they, like including this, mate. You know what I mean? But at one point for fucking whatever reason, because they were in Bathgate, so I don't know how they had this contact, but basically they ended up with this Nigerian wrestler, but the Nigerian government paid for him to come here and like do a tour of, I don't know if it was, to be honest, I think it was just fucking Scotland. Like I don't even think he went anywhere else. And even at that, I think it was just Bathgate. But fucking, they paid for him to come here and wrestle 2 Scottish guys. And he shows up. He was clueless, man. His wrestling gear was a pair of Speedos and a pair of Ugg boots and one magic glove, like one like woolly magic glove. And the whole fucking point of like him, of like the segment or whatever, was basically he was like that a mystery partner kind of thing. So it was like one guy's the babyface Dave was standing in the ring and he's going on about how, you know, he's out here, he's selling the night and whatever else, and fucking we come out to interrupt them as the heels, and we're like, oh, you've got no pals, fucking yada yada yada. And we never knew this until like after, and I believe, do you know what I mean, people had told us. It obviously supposed to be a surprise, and when we fucking came through the curtain and fucking I'm obviously looking forward and working the crowd and whatever else, he fucking came out with us. Like he just walked out behind us and then realised they fucked it and then fucked off back. So before the promoter basically said like, this guy is really dangerous, and he's shit. and you probably shouldn't let him do it in the match. And I was obviously thinking, well, why the fuck have you booked this guy?
Aye, why is he in the match in the first place? Aye.
So basically, all I had to do, it was like 2 clotheslines, 2 back elbows, and then like take my big running kick. I was like, we called it to him, and I was like, have you got that? And he just went, ha ha ha, and, like sort of danced away from us, and we're like, we're just gonna fucking take that as a yes. So like it gets to his one fucking spot in the match, so it gets a hot tag, he fucking decks it. Like first straight off, it goes to get in the ring, like the fucking heel comedy spot, you know what I mean? When you catch a foot in the middle of the rope, like he does that and falls in the fucking ring. Proceeds to go up and fucking batter me with the stiffest clothesline that I've ever had in my life, man. Like I literally had a bruise on my chest in the print of his arm, like literally in the fucking shape of his arm. He fucking leathered me, man. He done 2 clotheslines. All I had to do after it was then 2 back elbows and a kick. He does the 2 clotheslines and he's like, I forgot. Fuck's sake, you know what I mean? So I gave him the kick and he fucks off. But afterwards, the fucking, there's like the Nigerian news essentially, like a team from the Nigerian news. Like we want to interview you and talk about fucking your match with Power Vic. So this is Power Ruti that you probably heard about on Colt Cabana's podcast.
Nah, and this is Power Ruti is me and Bradley. Like the match he had with Gallows is me and Bradley Evans' favourite match ever. We fucking love that.
So this is like his fucking, this is his boy. You know what I mean? This is Power Vic.
Because they're a power.
I pretty much.
And are the foreigners that come out are super.
Yeah. So it's like power and super. All the foreigners are super. Like the fucking, so like the Nigerian news or whatever, like tell us about what you thought about the match with Power Vic. Now, so I just had the fucking shit kicked out of me and like forgot you know what I mean, just one spot, so I was fucking raging. And I'm like, fuck this, like fuck Power Vic, Power Vic fucking shit, whatever else. And the guy just sort of goes, no. And he's like, you say that Power Vic is the greatest wrestler you've ever wrestled. And obviously this guy's fucking huge, you know what I mean? And I'm like fucking 15, 16, and I'm just like, alright. And as I turned to my tag partner and I'm like, look, whatever you say, we just don't mention a rematch. So I've just said what they want me to say. It's on YouTube, and I'm just like, oh yeah, Power Vic was really, really good. Can't wait to see it back. It was great getting to wrestle and whatever else. And then my partner was like, yeah, motherfucker, if you want a motherfucking rematch, you know where we're at. Fuck. So they offered us to go to Nigeria. They're like, we'll give you fucking 2,000 American dollars a week to go to Nigeria. And I knew this, like the stories and stuff beforehand.
Aye.
Like I'd heard about the Power Ruti like stuff, and I'm saying to my partner, I'm going, look, he's probably not going to fucking wrestle. Like if it's heading to go, if these podcasts and stuff, like all these stories are heading to go by, we're going to go here, and the show's going to get fucking cancelled, and like we're going to get paid and we're going to fucking wrestle.
They'll take your money and send you home.
Yeah, like you're like, well, fucking let's do it. The Ebola broke out, so we ended up not doing it. But I ended up doing a podcast, so we could end up, I might get like double banned from Nigeria for telling the story again. But like I ended up doing a podcast. I was like Breaking Balls or something. I don't even think they're still about anymore. And I told the story about fucking Power Vic, and people were like sharing it about and stuff and whatever else. And sure as fuck, man, Power Ruti popped up on Twitter and was like, you fool, capital letters, fool. How dare you, like, you know what I mean, talk about Power Vic like us, because I'm burying this is his boy, you know what I mean? His senseis came to the fucking rescue. Power Ruti, and is basically, you're barred from Nigeria. And I don't know how much, like, kind of swing Power Ruti has in Nigeria, but I'm not going to take the fucking risk. Like, I'm not going to show up in case anyone does want to fuck with me. Like, so I'm just going to take myself as banned. But from what I've heard, like he is kind of in with like the kind of politicians and shit over there. So if he says I'm banned, then I'm not going. So, I'm sorry to the people in Nigeria. You'll have to come and see me in fucking Ethiopia or something instead.
Like I said, like me and Bradley, we always joke, like we love Power Ruti. But like before he got like slung in prison for fucking murdering his wife or whatever he got slung in prison for. Like he was always on about like he's got this pool in Nigeria, and he was like he would tag like random fucking WWE wrestlers like get fucking Stone Cold's allowed in my
Yeah,
pool. But then it was like so like Becky Lynch isn't allowed in my pool. So now he's got power to fucking come into Nigeria. I think it's just fucking come into his pool. I think that's just the extent of how
that's about as far as it goes. One of the shows we done in China, it was fucking excellent, man. So he shows up, and with like there's a poster outside. It's pretty small, but you know what I mean. But it's still fucking noticeable.
Yeah.
And it was Hulk Hogan, The Rock, SmackDown versus Raw 2007 render Undertaker. So not even a promo picture, like computer game Undertaker, and Roman Reigns. And obviously, keep in mind the show is me and fucking Rob Sharp and some Chinese guys. You know what I mean? But they're just straight up false advertising, man. And I was fucking howling. I'm taking pictures of it and shit. And the promoters going, no. Who did this? This is so embarrassing. So embarrassing. I can't believe it. I never knew anything about this. And the show was like in the middle of this fucking shopping centre, and we went in, and it was fucking printed on the floor. It was it was on the windies, there was balconies, and it's gone round the fucking balconies, and it's SmackDown versus Raw Undertaker fucking everywhere you look, man. It was brilliant. I loved it, man. Just straight up false advertising. John Cena, you name it, man. John Cena's gonna be there. Fucking aye, why not?
It's like the tribute shows back in the day, but like the next level tribute shows. Like now we're actually getting these boys in.
No, they're not even trying to pretend that it's a tribute. You know what I mean? They're just straight up like, come and see John Cena. And when he's not there, like, what the fuck you got to do about it?
We've got your money now. Fuck you.
Yeah, exactly. Like, SmackDown vs Raw 2007 Undertaker, can he make it? I think. I would actually really like to wrestle in Africa. Like, I think that would be wild. That's like next level wild. You know what I mean? That's I've been talking to a promoter in Angola, and he's been saying that he wants to sort something out and bring in some kind of European American guys. I spoke to a promotion in Morocco as well, and that went tits up. But no, I genuinely really would like to go to Africa. I've seen that there's like I'm sure it's Africa. I could be wrong. Maybe it's elsewhere, but I'm sure it's Africa. And for some reason, they've just ended up with like WCW's Nitro ring. It's the most random thing in the world. It's like promotion in some fucking random African country. But somehow they've got fucking they've got one of the WCW rings. I'm like, that's cool as fuck.
I would wrestle on WCW ring.
Yeah, fuck yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I've got to fucking
if it's an Africa,
Nigerian kid on that, I'm in fucking Nigerian Nitro, you know what I mean? Like, let's do it.
Like I said, me and Bradley, like we joked. I was like, "Fuck it, yeah." Like we joked about fucking Power Eating and we tag him and shit. And I was like, if we ever get booked in Nigeria, we're just going. Nice second watch with it. But then a couple of episodes ago, we did like a watch along at the fucking Gallows and Uti match, and we just sat and laughed for like however long the match, like 7 minutes. So if we tagged him in that, so if he's watched that, it's like, nah, we're gonna get booked in Nigeria. We're banned as well now.
See, I think I don't think he's like the only guy that runs it, but like just from fucking looking about and shit, doing my usual, like it seems Nigeria's actually got a wee bit of a scene, you know what I mean? Which is cool, you know what I mean? Like there's quite a few promotions there.
I mind watching someone about it was on Netflix. I'm sure it was on Netflix. It was like kind of these weird sports for around the world and it was one of them. It was like African wrestling. I'm sure it was Nigeria, but they were still treating it like a shoot.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. Is this voodoo wrestling?
Aye, that was it.
Yeah, that's the Congo.
Congo, that was it. Congo.
They got a few promotions there as well, but that is fucking. If you haven't seen that, that's what to go and watch.
Aye, that's mad. Like still.
What's that? Vice. It's a Vice. I know that there is a Vice episode about it. And she fucking stabs a guy and sacrifices him and shit.
Aye, that was the one.
Yeah, fucking wild.
Like ripping heads of fucking chickens and all that fucking. Like,
yeah, you want to talk fucking death match, like. That's it, man. Fuck FMW. These guys are fucking. That's the next level.
And that's it. Like you're saying, like the folk still like even the fans still like they've no idea. It's like, nah, this is a shoot. This is real.
fuck I like I would believe it because she did just stab a guy. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of that's what, like I don't know how much that can really be worked.
I know. He's legit fucking bleeding out now.
Yeah. You can only there's like it's only a work to some extent, and then it's just agreeing to be stabbed. It's not work.
That is just murder.
It's still very weird.
Aye, it's it's like speaking of fucking death, man. I didn't like again. You were trying to get a fucking match with New Jack.
Oh man, I'm actually really gutted that never happened. He was a fucking character, man. Like
Aye.
I've told this the story before, but like basically, I'd started doing stuff on Twitter, and I was I kept tagging him and whatever else. But he started like he was like liking stuff that like he hadn't been tagged in, kind of thing.
All right, okay.
And so he was just like somebody. He must have been like vanity searching or whatever. And,
Aye.
like, he just like came across it. But I put on my personal Facebook, like not on like my Looking Sharp pages and that, like my personal page, my personal Facebook. I was like, stop talking about New Jack. You know what I mean? He's gonna end up finding me. And sure as fuck, I got a notification. It was like Jerome Young has commented on the status. Oh, what the fuck's Jerome Young? Because I believe that motherfucker. Sure as fuck, it was New Jack. You know what I mean? Like, I had no idea that I had New Jack on Facebook apparently, but sure as fuck he found me, man. But I did actually end up talking to him a couple of times, like just like on wrestling and stuff, and was like I just straight up, I really want to wrestle you, you know what I mean?
Aye.
And he was up for it, but I don't think he was allowed to leave America.
I wouldn't have thought so.
Nah, I don't like. But that would have been that was like I legit did want to do it, man. Like I said, like you say with yourself, like big ECW fan, you know what I mean? So like, New Jack's fucking for any ECW fan, I would think New Jack's fucking up there.
Aye, it's like that was my entrance at fucking at Halloween hijinks, the fucking Halloween show. I came out with the trash can full of shit.
Yeah.
Like all it was missing was just me throwing up the fucking X. That was all it was missing.
I think that would be fucking. I think that would have been a lot of fun, man.
Aye.
Like I think everybody talks about how he's a lunatic and all that, but like I always had this kind of game plan. If I ever got the match, I was like, I'm just gonna be heavy sound. You know what I mean? Like if you're gonna stab me if I'm just a pure nice guy, you know? Like,
aye, just there to be master answer.
Yeah, I'm just gonna not be a dick, you know what I mean? And just hope that he doesn't plug me.
Aye, but you want to need New Jack? Aye, hit me with Hoover. Aye,
yeah, fucking do
that. You know
what I mean? Just don't kill me.
Aye, we're not getting up any scaffolding. It's fine. No.
Yeah.
No, they're right. Aye, like I can't just like ECW. Like New Jack, was he your guy in ECW or?
No, so I was one of them. Like, oh, I like New Jack. The Sabu was like my main guy.
Aye,
100%. Sabu's probably my favorite wrestler. He's actually retired like last week or something like that.
Aye.
He's somebody that I'd like, you know, I spoke to a lot. It's like he gave me a lot of feedback on like footage and stuff that I'd sent him. That's he's somebody that I really wanted to wrestle, so I'm pretty gutted that I never got to do that. But he was definitely like my guy for ECW. Like probably, I think it was the first thing I ever actually seen of wrestling at all. Was because it was my uncle was watching an ECW DVD and then like basically it's fucking Sabu like doing the moonsault, like putting himself through the table.
Aye.
Kind of thing. So that was like my first experience of wrestling, at least if it wasn't, it's my earliest memory of it at least. And I just remember thinking, you know what I mean, how mad it was. You know what I mean? Obviously later on and stuff like that at WWE, but that's why like even like from an early age, you know what I mean, like ECW was always what I was into.
Aye. See, like I said, I'm an older guy, so like I first got into like WWF at the time would have been. So it's like your Hogans and Warriors and Savages.
Yeah.
And then randomly, like I must be, I don't know how old I would have been, like 13, 14, when I just randomly fucking skipping channels and came across ECW. Holy fuck, this is fucking
that's different.
Like, but I like Raven was my guy. He was always that's the reason I dressed that right. My gear is the way it is because it's I'm just Raven.
That makes sense. Makes sense.
But like
that Raven was class, man. His promos and shit, especially from ECW, were always fucking like insane, man. Like next level, brilliant, man. It's like you consider it's like out with ECW fans, like specifically. Do you know what I mean? Like Raven's not ever really brought up much.
Nah.
You know what I mean? That like it's not something that's like talked about a lot. But
Like,
I thought Raven was fucking brilliant, man. Like promos, like world class. You know what I mean? 100%.
like if you mentioned any like mainstream wrestling guys, they'll bring up the triple threat match at WWE with Kane and Big Show. That's the one they'll bring up. I say, you can't just go back and watch ECW. He's far better.
Nah, he was fucking class in ECW, man. He was good in WCW as well.
Aye. They kind of ruined his character there, I thought. Like, can they give him this rich kid, spoiled fucking kid thing? And it was like,
see, I never watched that at the time, so I've only went back and I've probably picked out the good parts of from what I've seen of it. You know what I mean? I didn't see it at the time, but
there is like he did take decent matches and like there was a couple of decent promos and they still get like his ECW stuff was a lot better. Like there was a lot like some of it was a lot darker, like grungier kind of stuff, and it was like
I always loved the fucking the Raven and Sandman.
Aye.
Feud where like he fucking his son joins
Sandman's
fucking Raven
kid,
and all that. Yeah.
Start dressing like
I worship Raven now. Like that was fucking excellent, man.
Like
it's like pure like trash TV, you know. It's just brilliant.
I'm always on it, like it kind of like not so much live because like the drive. Obviously, we can't get fucking ruined imports with fucking COVID or whatever, but it's like beforehand. I was like, Bill's like, how far we got to book this year, Raven? He's like, nah. I said, just to pop me. I didn't care.
I done a show with Raven once at Target. That was pretty cool, man. I always thought like, is it like you see on all like the shoot interviews and shit, like you hear all these like wild stories about him being this fucking lunatic, and I'm expecting him to be like fucking doing heroin for his eyeballs and shit. I fucking showed up and the promoters like gave him this tub of ice cream and he's like, wow, this whole tub of ice cream just for me, just for Raven. They gave him this fucking like a tablespoon. He's like, it's the biggest spoon I ever saw. And I'm like, I thought this guy was going to be out his fucking dial. You know what I mean? Like, I thought he was going to be fucking wild, you know what I mean? But now he was writing about his fucking Ben and Jerry's or whatever it was he called. I guess he's old now, and he's probably taking a back step for his fucking partying days.
Like I listen to these podcasts, I'm fairly sure he doesn't drink or anything these days. And he's wine doing his drug fucking take. I think he maybe fucking kid smokes weed or whatever but that's as far as he fucking But like you hear some of the stories he tells in the podcast, and it's just like I can being fucking Perry Saturn running fucking naked through hotels and all. I was like,
see, like that's like that was always like my uncle was like always dead into like shoot interviews and like I guess now what would be like a kind of internet wrestling fan, but like at that time. So he was always like really into like shoot interviews and all that kind of stuff. And again, that was stuff that I was watching when I was like I just started watching wrestling. You know what I mean? I was seeing a lot of these, and I always remember that was one of the things that like always made me want to be a wrestler. There's like all these wild stories you would hear on shoot interviews and all that. And I was like, this just sounds like it just sounds mental. Like it sounds like, and not even just the wrestling part of it, just the whole lifestyle of everything just sounds crazy, you know what I mean? So that was something that always kind of drew me to wrestling as well.
Just like especially like proper back in the day. I say I just like in 3 boys in a car just driving down even the drivers just fucking tanning beer on the road, and I was like, you'd never get away with that these days.
No chance, man, not a chance. Fuck me, man. That's how you like these days. You'd be fucking shouting yourself have one backseat.
Hiding it down the side, and I was it's like obviously fucking. I've only worked wrestlers on side. Any fucking sort of stories like that. It's like we're a fairly fucking calm bunch up there. We just fucking do our show and we'll go home again usually. Now and again we'll go for a fucking get a couple of drinks after the show, but nothing like that.
Nah, it's probably for the better that like wrestling's changed so much for fucking the 90s or whatever, but it did sound like it was fucking insane. I
was like, there's a part of you thinking like, God, I would have loved that, but
they probably would have ended up dead. Yeah.
it's like I said, it's wild. Some of the fucking shit you hear for fucking back in the day. It's just mental.
I think that would have been like if I could live through any time, like I think I would want to be a wrestler in like the mid to late 90s, like just during that like the real boom of like wrestling, you know what I mean? Like that would have been insane, you know what I mean? Like the height of the Attitude Era and stuff. Like I can only imagine, but like, do you know what I mean? See when like, you know, when WWE's on a kind of upswing, like the indie shows will start doing well. Like, can you imagine even like during the Attitude Era, even doing an indie show must have been fucking shit hot. Like the fucking like the tribute shows over here were doing fucking insane numbers.
Aye.
You know what I mean? Like,
I remember going to tribute shows when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Just fully fucking packed.
Like imagine being able to wrestle in front of like fucking 2,000 people and all you got to do is pretend you're Kane. Fuck yeah. Like, fucking, I do that any day, man. I remember going to Pavilion and it was kind of like a half tribute show. There was like some kind of, I don't want to say indie guys, but you know what I mean? Like they weren't pretending they were a WWE guy.
Aye, yeah.
And then there was other guys, you know, like fake Rey Mysterio and whatever else. But fake Rey Mysterio was just straight up, it was just called Mr. 619. And then at the break, he sold scrap bits of paper and just wrote 619 on them. Like that was, it was come and get an autograph from no, sorry, it was Mr. 619 Real Mysterio, not Rey Mysterio, Real Mysterio. So come and get your autograph from Real Mysterio. And he just that's fucking got a pad of blank paper and he's tearing bits of paper out and writing 619 and getting handed 20 quid a pop, man. And fucking everyone in the building must have got one, man. Like they must have made a fortune that night.
I might get tribute. Like sometimes, like tribute shows, you would get something like even the bit like kind of, you know, you always say you're fucking Stone Cold or fucking Rock or whatever it was, tribute Rock, but you sometimes get these random means you would like never imagine they would like kind of like even mid carders, but we didn't like
yeah.
He was like a tribute Gilbert or someone was like.
I remember Krieger telling me a story about like he went to a tribute show and he was fine with everything except it was like Crash Holly, a fake Crash Holly, obviously, beat fake Chris Jericho in the main event or whatever, and that's what threw him off, and he was just like, no, that would never happen. It would never happen.
I mean, he's right.
It was raging. Well, yeah, he was fine. That's what threw him off. Not UK Undertaker or the Stone or whoever else they fucking had.
Aye, there was a few. Like there was one. I can't remember. I was a fake X-Pac. I get that.
I know. Robbie Brookside was, or maybe it wasn't. It was either Robbie Brookside or Frankie Sloan. One of the two used to be fake X-Pac, and then they would go backstage and shave, and then would be Matt Hardy.
Oh yeah, I've heard that. Yeah.
I can't remember. I think it was Robbie Brookside, but it could have been Frankie Sloan.
I remember hearing that one. Aye.
That's like I'd have loved to have done like even now like if the like you know that everyone online would be like if like a tribute promotion like tried to fucking pop up, like everyone would be shitting all over them and fucking whatever else. Man, I'd be on that so fast. Like make me John Cena, you know. I'll be whoever you want, man. Do you want me to be Hornswoggle? Do you know like?
Aye, just give us a shot.
Yeah, fuck yeah, man. I'll be whoever the fuck you want. I'm gonna be there tomorrow. Like, I would love it, man. I got to be a great laugh.
It would, like, just in a wee
it's
dress up.
You don't ever really see it here. It's like you see these kind of gimmicky promotions in America. You know what I mean? Where they do like, you know, like Shikara kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Like you don't really see much of that out here. But I would quite like to do some of that sort of stuff.
Aye, it's like fucking. Like I said, fucking me and Bradley, like the Power and Gallows thing, like we're massive Gallows fans. So like,
yeah.
Like I don't know if you've seen like the Talking Shot of Manias.
I've not seen the shows. I've seen like, you know, the posters and everything, but they do look good. But I've not seen them.
The shows are fucking tremendous, and it's like that's the same kind of thing. Instead, just properly over the top fucking characters, like Gallows' Sex Ferguson thing, and it's just
right.
It's just like like every 80s wrestler you've ever fucking seen, but just turned fucking like right you're the fucking top.
Yeah,
it's tremendous.
I seen all the Southpaws and they were
The
excellent.
Southpaw, I fucking love them.
Like that, I have no idea why they didn't keep that up. Like that was brilliant, man. And like you can tell everybody's like enjoying doing it. You know what I mean? So they should have kept that up, man.
In fact, they did tease a third season of that.
Aye.
Right. Would that be last year? Or fucking like the start of this year and the last year they teased it. There was a promo with fucking Cena and who the fuck was the other fucking commentator? Fandango. Again, he was there. There was a teaser fucking trailer with the two of them, and like none ever came up. I was like,
fucking COVID, mate. Taking everything for us.
I was so fucking gutted. I was like, ruined it for me.
That would have been class, man. I remember they put it in the game as well. It was in the 2K20 game. Like they done like, oh, it's just gonna be like a Southpaw DLC, but it ended up being fucking the whole game was shite. But that could have been like the game could have been class for that as well. But it was such a missed opportunity, man.
If they just released a Southpaw game, I would have bought that. Like I would have been
mate, I would if there was a Southpaw game, like I'd have that on pre-order, man. Like that would be excellent. That's right up my street.
Aye, fucking was it Sea Monster or fucking Sea Beast or whatever it was?
Sea Creature.
Sea Creature, that was it. Aye, just all
that was brilliant, man. Mr. McElroy, I love that, man. I love that.
Aye, it's tremendous. But like we're saying about the fucking if they release a game, I can you're big in your wrestling games.
Yeah.
Aye.
So basically, I'm trying to collect every wrestling game that's ever been released, which sounded doable at first until I actually got on about it, and it's every time that I think I'm getting close, I'm like, I'll make a post about I've only got a couple minutes to go, you know what I mean? And then I find out there's like some whole other fucking series that was only released in Japan or something.
Usually.
Yeah, like just like, do you know what I mean? Like wild shit like that. But no, I've got pretty fucking deep into it, man. I've ended up buying fucking whole new consoles, like specifically to buy fucking games for it and stuff.
That's dedication, like.
Yeah, like fucking Japanese consoles and stuff. So fucking, oh my fucking god, sorry, mate, it's a massive spider. I can't really get that. Right, I'm back. I vacated premises there.
No fun then.
No, definitely not. Definitely, I hate spiders, man. Hate spiders. But I'm sure that's probably made a good fucking teaser trailer or something.
That'll do it. That's your clickbait.
Aye, fuck that.
But aye, wrestling games.
I'd call my dad and there's backup. I can't remember what I was on. What I was talking about.
I don't know. It was somebody with wrestling games. Buying consoles, that was it.
Aye, so fucking, I've ended up fucking buying consoles and everything, just, you know what I mean, so I can play all these like mad Japanese ones and everything, and converters and all sorts, but I've ended up, I spoke to a guy, Gakdaw, on Twitter, at Gakdaw, and he's making a game called Ultraviolence.
Alright, okay.
He's making it himself, so it's taking a while because it's literally like a 1-2 man team. But he's one of the guys who made the Arkham games.
Alright, aye.
He worked on like the Batman games. But it's got all sorts of like American guys and like John Wayne Murdoch and Ruckus, Alex Colon, like sort of GCW and CZW crowd and stuff are all in it. So that, I'm looking forward to that, man. So I'm going to be in that one coming up. That's it'll be on consoles and PC and stuff. But
aye.
Follow I think it's at UVW Wrestling is for the game in general, and at Gakto is the guy that's making it. So quite glad to actually managed to get in one myself. I don't know if you've seen that indie wrestler.
Aye.
It popped up as well, so that's quite cool as well. I helped the guy get in touch with a lot of the Danes and stuff for that one, but essentially like a sort of we sort of mobile game, you know what I mean? You start off and you go around various promotions, basically trying to get booked at like different promotion across like UK and Europe and whatever else. But there ended up quite a few like sort of British guys and European guys and stuff in it, so that was pretty cool as well. So I just want to check it if you know how to show it.
Aye, that's like I said, it's good. Like actually getting in a game.
That is, it was definitely on the bucket list. You know what I mean? I'm probably just as much into wrestling games as I'm wrestling. You know what I mean? But I like something to actually get in one myself was pretty cool. Like at first, obviously, I got the mobile game with Indie Wrestler, but with UVW, it's like a whole different kettle of fish. You know what I mean? It's like a full on
Game,
you know what I mean?
proper game.
I've seen he's put up some like sort of gameplay sort of footage, and he's like rendered the ruckus, and it looks brilliant, man. It reminds me of like Day of Reckoning. I don't know if you ever played that. It was on like GameCube.
Vaguely remember, aye.
You know, remember like say like WrestleMania 18, like
Aye.
WrestleMania games, those sort of ones. Like reminds me of like that kind of style of game. So it looks pretty cool, man. I'm looking forward to seeing that. And then if he was on the Arkham games, you know what I mean, he obviously knows what he's talking about. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he does. Like it's a different concept as well, because it's always like, you know what I mean, like the sort of simulation, either like simulation or like arcade. You know what I mean? Like either one end of the spectrum or the other.
Aye.
Whereas, like a deathmatch game is just a whole different kettle of
Aye.
fish altogether. You know what I mean? It's just that's something completely different. So I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm looking forward to playing it more than fucking being in it. You know what I mean?
Aye.
Genuinely, like it looks fucking really good, man. It'll be cool to see like more wrestling games that aren't just like the 2K games or SmackDown vs. Raw or whatever.
Aye. I think I've bought a 2K game since fucking 17 or 18 maybe.
But see, I'm
It's
a
like-
fucking nerd, and I buy them every year. Even if I know it's gonna be shit, you know what I mean? I always end up buying it.
Like I did go through a run where I was like a good 4 or 5 fucking years, and I was like, I'm buying them. Like there's no massive changes in them, but you buy them anyway.
Yeah. And see, it would be cool. Like, see if they went back and done some of the stuff they done in like fucking Shut Your Mouth and all that. Remember, like the story modes and stuff like that.
Aye.
I'd play that for, you know what I mean? I was on it. Like that was brilliant, man. I mean, I guess they've kind of tried to do it like the My Career stuff, but it's just this is not the same.
It's not. Like you said, it's not quite the same.
Nah, not at all, man. Like fucking Shut Your Mouth. That was the one for me. Like on PS2, Shut Your Mouth, the story mode where you have to run a bit and find your tag partner and all that. I love that.
I always liked fucking WCW versus World. I think it was a PlayStation 1, I want to say.
N64. Maybe on PlayStation 1 as well, but I remember it was on N64.
Yeah.
No, that's a good one as well.
I did enjoy that.
Did you play the ECW games?
I played. I can't remember which one it was. I was one of them I did have. I can't remember which one it was.
So there was one on PS1, and then there was one that was on like N64 and Dreamcast.
It would have been the PS1 one I had.
Yeah.
Aye.
No, I did enjoy it. I never thought that was shit, but maybe I was just.
It was ECW. Didn't care. Fucking roasting the specs.
Fucking brilliant, man. Fucking Inferno matches. That was a really good one.
Like you didn't have to sit there and fucking your fucking attitude or whatever it was, just recreating all these fucking ECW wrestlers. So yeah, they were already in there. Because that was all I did when I was a kid. Like just fucking I changed the WWE game. I just put the ECW boys in it and just my ECW. That's what I'm getting.
Like I used to spend hours when I was like younger, and it was this website, and you could go on, and it would tell you like the exact specs.
Aye.
You know what I mean? And it's fucking downloading like 3 pages of fucking shit. You know what I mean? So I can try and make the Sandman and fucking. You know what I mean? And fucking Here Comes the Pain or something.
Aye, that was the thing. You made like 4 or 5 of them, and then you got like, fuck it, I'm just gonna wing it. They'll look vaguely similar, and then when I have moveset, let's just here's Crash Holly's moveset. That'll do. It's close enough. Just a nonsense.
It's so like in depth now, man. Like,
aye.
Like I see a lot on like Twitter and stuff, like the one like the same sort of thing, that like people making them themselves, like, and they look better than the fucking game now. You know what I mean? The ones that you sort of community ones, like
aye.
How good these people are at making that stuff.
Aye. like I say, like even fucking kid trying to do it yourself, and you're like, you spend like 10 minutes, you're like, I'm never getting this.
Like they must put fucking, it must take them. I will.
Like, here's your eyebrows. How high up do we need them? I don't care. That's about right.
Yeah. Like it does not make sense. I hate how like, that series of numbers is going to create the right eyebrow for Shane McMahon.
Aye. So it's like, it's nah. I gave all that up. It's like, nah, I've no time for all this. I've better things to be doing.
That's what you can download it on. You
Aye, well,
just, like, upload them. That's easier.
Aye. So is it just fucking wrestling games, or are you just retro games in general?
Yeah, just games in general. Wrestling games is I think I started it the way I was collecting like retro consoles at first, and then I sort of picked that for the kind of main ones that I was wanting.
Aye.
And then I was like, right, I'll try and collect, all of these wrestling games, which then ended up, it introduced me, as I say, to all these different consoles that I hadn't seen before. But I just games in general. I was always really into like Cinemastica, like AVGN and stuff when I was younger. So I was obviously I had a PS2 when I was younger. You know what I mean? I don't play like Super Nintendo and stuff. But like seeing it on like YouTube and all that kind of stuff, like that's what got me into it. You know what I mean? So it was old Nintendo consoles at first. I wanted to collect those. It was like the Sega, and then started getting a bit more obscure with like 3DOs and all this kind of stuff. CDI and
one of my buddies, I'm sure it was a 3DO he had. Like fucking like Mad Dog McGraw, that fucking caper.
Yeah. I'm sure Mad Dog McGraw's 3DO. I've got a Thunder in Paradise game on the CDI. It's like one of
oh, holy shit!
Like motion video kind of games. You know what I mean? Like it's fucking, it's actually an interactive film with like shooter segments.
Aye.
It's fucking brilliant, man. It's so easy. I love it.
Aye. I fucking like I said, like my buddy, he had a 3DO when he had that caper. I was like I was saying, that evening it was 13 Ghosts or something. It was a hotel, and it was that like live action bits in between. I was like, it didn't quite work. It was like, it's cool. You worked around it.
Yeah. But see, like I thought maybe at the time, like kids would have been like, "This is amazing," you know what I mean? Like, but apparently not. That was the 3D on it. Like, I'm pretty sure like the price on it was like insane. Like,
I was mental.
$dollars or something like that. Like,
I was like fucking like 3-4 times more expensive than a fucking PlayStation or whatever it was. At the time was like, I was like mental. Like, and the games themselves were like fucking 80 quid or whatever it was.
And like Fulwood must have spent so much money on like getting one of them, and it wouldn't have been supported for that long.
Nah.
You know what I mean? These consoles like, you know what I mean, a year, 2 years or something. You know what I mean? You spent fucking $900 and I'm not bringing out new for it. Like, do you know what? That makes me feel like I bought a Stadia the day that thing came out, man. Like, I bought a Stadia, the Founders Edition and everything. And I mean, it's cool. Like, you get like each month you get like 3 games and whatever.
Aye.
But like they had there's going to be all these Stadia exclusive games, and there was like Google Game Studios, and they were going to be making all this stuff, and they shut down all of the Google Studios, and basically now it's just like a service where you could like Steam. You know what I mean? Like you can just go on and download games. And I'm like, I feel so fucked. You know? I believed in this. I was one guy that like believed in Stadia. This is what I got.
See, I looked into fucking buying one of the, is it Evercades? I looked into buying one of
the emulators.
Aye.
Yeah, folk keep saying about the emulation stuff, but like I don't know, I'm like OCD that way when I like it on like the original hardware and stuff.
Aye.
I've seen folk use like the like the emulator stuff and putting them in like the arcade cabinets and stuff. And I
that's good. Like, if my missus would let me allow me just in an arcade cabinet, I'd instantly hate, but it's no day. I've no way for that.
So see, like it doesn't seem like I've seen folk making kind of like tabletop ones, and it doesn't actually seem that difficult. Like I think it looks a lot more hard than it is, because from what I've seen, a lot of them it's just the wooden frame.
Aye.
And then you kind of stand like your kind of basic monitor, and inside the cabinet is just like your regular sort of PC power.
Aye.
It's just running the emulation stuff. Like that, like if I guess if you bought the kind of frame for it, it wouldn't actually be that kind of expensive and stuff to do it. So
Aye.
watch this, I'm gonna end up with a fucking arcade room.
Aye. Like I said, if my missus would let me in, I would instantly have fucking just a rack of them, but nah, no chance.
I know a guy who's got a Mortal Kombat machine, like a proper Mortal Kombat machine that he says like when he plugs it in, like you can go and watch the Lecky just going. So much electricity, man.
In fact, they actually sell them in Smith's kind of toy shop. I was in there just a couple of weeks ago with the Berms, and they've got like the Mortal Kombat and they've got a Street Fighter in, and like a big Pac-Man fucking cabinet in hand. And I sat there, I was like, "Oh, kids, fucking, look, you want this for your Christmas? Go on,
Are you sure?
go and bug your mum. Tell her you want this. Put it on your list." It's like, they weren't cheap. Like they were best part, like guts, like 800 quid or whatever it was. Like,
I think the ones in shops now are pretty expensive, but people they say like make them on their own. Like,
like you're saying, for fitavers, like fit's actually in them. If you had to if you had to know how to build a fucking cabinet, it wouldn't be that fucking much to put it together. I wouldn't have thought.
No. And I mean, I'm sure you could probably just buy the the actual frame itself. Do you know what I mean?
Aye.
Customize it, get a fucking Ultimate Warrior or some shit inside it. You know what I mean? I'm planning this out in my head. It's gonna happen. I'm gonna do
it. Aye. We'll all be room for a shot.
I'll keep these posted.
Like, there's only one more thing I've really got my notes that we haven't covered so far, and it's up to you if you want to get into it. I don't know how much you actually can about it, but it's the FCW show the other week.
I don't know if you want. It was during that fucking match.
I ken Caleb, Caleb said he's a FPWA guy now, but he's still a wrestling guy.
Yeah.
Like he was on his way home for the show, and he's like message like, "I've got news."
Man, like people had been saying before the show that he's gonna come down to the firearm. I'm not gonna say anything because
they're worth a fucking waste of breath.
Fuck giving them that's because they want the attention. You know what I mean? But it's everyone knew he was gonna do it. Like, or do something at least.
Aye.
And sure, you know what I mean. Sure enough, but he must have had like somebody in there watching the show, because the timing of it was impeccable. It was like a fatal 4-way main event, and each of us made our entrance or whatever. And then as soon as the four of us were in the ring, just about to get started, the fire alarm went. It's a fucking. We're standing there, and as soon as it went, I turned around and said to Wizard, it was him. Like we knew who'd done it. And I was like, he's fucking, he's done it. And the fire alarm's obviously gone off, and everybody's just kind of looking about, because everyone knows that, everyone's kind of got an inkling that it's, it's like, that's not supposed to be happening.
Aye.
And we're, because again, we were just kind of starting waiting to start wrestling, and I'm like, to Wizard, I'm like, yo, what the fuck are we gonna do? Fucking like over this fucking fire alarm, and his fucking mad Stevie Wizard voice was like, just ignore it. The fucking fire alarm's go off. Like, yeah, just ignore it. Like, you're gonna do something. So I took the mic, just like, in hindsight, I shouldn't have referenced them at all, and I didn't say their name, and I was just like, there's another promotion in Dundee. Obviously, don't want you to have a good time tonight, so let's have, the best night of wrestling these have ever seen. But I shouldn't have even have said that much. But as soon as I said that, Wizard was kind of like, nah, we need to evacuate the entire building. So sure enough, we're all outside, and Caleb's my opponent, and I'm on his shoulders. Like,
Aye, I saw the pictures of that.
Chanting FCW and everything else, but do you know what I mean? It's like kids who are standing
Aye.
outside and they're freezing and greeting, and you know what I mean. They've just 6-year-old, 8-year-old kids maybe give a fuck about wrestling politics in Dundee. Like, you know what I mean? Like they just came for a show, and now they need to stand outside in the freezing cold, and most of them probably got kicked home.
Aye.
Like, got to home early, didn't get to see the main event. Like, you know what I mean? So congratulations. Like if that makes you the king of Dundee, the fact that you know what I mean, you made a bunch of waves great. You called out the you know what I mean, the fire department who could have been saving somebody for a
Aye.
performance.
They've got better things to do. Let's be honest.
Yeah, they've got much better fight. Do you know a lot of stuff in wrestling that I've done? The most embarrassing thing that I've ever had today was explain to like the mad boss man firefighter that we're wrestlers, but there's other wrestlers in Dundee, and they don't like the fact that we're here wrestling, so they can fault the fucking fire alarm like we're in high school. You know, like see, having to say that to someone who's not involved in wrestling, you know what I mean? Like, they've probably never seen wrestling in their life. Like I felt ridiculous, man. But like the main thing is that would piss me off about it, like I said, there's just five kids and everything all standing outside. Caleb's baby was there.
Aye.
Like, do you know what I mean?
I get his missus was raging. Aye.
Yeah, a baby got to stand outside because your ego won't allow somebody else to.
Aye. See, that's the thing. Obviously, fucking kid, we like the rest of them boys, like Scotty and fucking Bill, and they've all worked in there. They've worked for him. Like they started doing shows down there, so they can fit his like, and like they've told us about that. Like we get it second hand, but it's like he still. And you think, again, he wouldn't sink that fucking low, and then he sinks that fucking low. You think, piece of shit.
Me as well.
Well, so you worked there, did you? Was it one?
Yeah, like Scotty and all that. Scotty and all that all told me about him before, and then I started taking dates for him. Like, but I was just getting started, you know.
Aye,
like,
just want to work everywhere. Aye.
Yeah, I just want to get about. And I'm that way where I'm like I'll be my own judge.
Aye.
I'll see what I'll see how he is with me. And I probably should have just listened to them. But this isn't even like the first time we've done this. I remember when I done 5-star, like he had these issues with 5-star coming.
I mind about that. Aye.
Like if you like think about it logically, you know what I mean? Like 5-star probably would have worked with him. You know what I mean? Like he could probably contacted because the WrestleZone guys worked with.
Well, again, they were meant to be running Aberdeen. I think that in fact we were actually meant to be involved. Aye, me and Archer.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Dave could have spoke to 5-star before. And he could have said, you know, we're the only promotion in Dundee. We've been running here for years. Since you're coming in, is there any chance you can use a couple of guys? Is there any chance you can let us stick some flyers at your show? Do you know what I mean? Like, but instead they wanted to kick up a fuss and raise the SWE army.
Because he's the fucking Biggie, he's the fucking godfather of Scottish wrestling, and this other fucking shite. Fuck your balls.
Get over yourself, man. Like fucking Rey Mysterio and AJ Styles are coming to town, and you're the boss. You get to decide. No, Rey Mysterio will get back on your plane. You're not welcome in Dundee. What?
It's just
what planet are you on, man?
Like saying out loud is just sounds ridiculous.
Exactly.
But that's exactly what he's like.
It is absurd. You know what I mean? You could have worked with this promotion. You could have got your guys, like, you know, thrown in. Even if it was those 5-star shows were insane. Like, even if it was like, yeah, I'll throw some of your guys on pre-show, it still would have been wrestling fucking Jay Lethal or something, you know, like fucking John Morris. It would have been someone ridiculous on the pre-show as well, like some American guy. But instead, you chose to let ego take care and, you know what I mean, just ruin it for all of his own.
That's what I said. Just
it doesn't make a difference to the 5-star. Like,
I saw it on Facebook today. Nathan Reynolds. He's turned around and says, "I'm fucking it idea." Like he was working. He was planning it, or he said he was going to work with him in the future. But I noticed just before we come on here, I noticed he put someone on Facebook saying that he's not interested now. He's no time for working for them.
Okay, it's just people like that just on the hassle. Do you know what I mean? Like realistically, right? We're independent wrestlers. No the bloods in the cups. You know what I mean? Like picking sides and like mad tough wars and all that. What? we're here to roll about in our underwear.
Aye.
Like we're doing the most ridiculous thing in the world. Like as I said earlier, wrestling is the most ridiculous thing in the world. Like we should be working together, off for each other, and you can't work for this guy if you work for me, and I'm going to come and pull the fire alarm at your show, and I'm going to ruin your show, and this, that, and the next thing, and that is I'm beefing with this guy and everything else. What? Like, in what other industry does this happen? It's just wrestling's full of mad weirdos. What? Like, just get over yourself, man. Like, see if genuinely, if everybody just put the fragile egos aside, like, like everybody could work together really well. You know what I mean? Everybody could be doing numbers, but there's some people who just don't want to be part of that and just want to, ruin things for other people.
Because they think they're above it, or they think they're in charge, or they found it out, or what? Just like.
And like, I know we're talking obviously about one promotion, but it just it's not even just them. There is sadly people like that in wrestling, but you know what I mean. Hopefully, it does seem nowadays in wrestling, following everything feel like last year.
Aye.
It feels there's a lot of more younger people that are in sort of prominent positions.
Aye.
And I feel like in general everybody's feeling a bit more positive about wrestling, and you know I think hopefully we'll sort of weed out folk like that. You know what I mean? Like it's a remnant of the past, back in the day, people running about and pulling fire alarms at each other's shows and reporting them to venues and cancelling their, you know what I mean, phoning up and cancelling their shows and all that. So that's a remnant of the past. That's exactly what that promotion is as well.
It's exactly where it used to fucking stay, just in the past.
It'll stick about for a bit like a bad fart, but it'll get weeded out. You know what I mean?
Aye. That's what it's needed.
Aye, 100%.
That's a serious rant to the road. So, like I said, I think I've run through pretty much my notes. I've only got one more thing that I like to do.
All good.
And I don't know if you're a big music guy, but we'll find it.
Okay.
But like as wrestlers, we like to do fantasy booking, like fantasy matches or whatever. But because I'm a big music guy, like let's put together your dream gig, so you can hear any band for any era, or fucking alive or dead, however you like. So you've got an opener, a mid card, and a headliner.
Aye.
And it can make as much or as little sense as you like. You could have 3 fucking headline bands.
There doesn't need to be any sort of theme.
Nah. There doesn't need to be any sort of logic behind it. It's just, if you were putting together your dream gig, 3 bands you would want to see.
Jimi Hendrix is on there somewhere. It's got to be the headliner, isn't it? Jimi Hendrix is got to be the headliner.
And you would have thought so. It depends who your other 2 are. It's like...
Aye, right. Jimi Hendrix is headlining, and he's been opened by... Tupac. Tupac's fucking opening it.
Right, okay.
And we're going to have Johnny Cash in the middle to kind of level things out before they get Jimi Hendrix.
Aye, bring the crowd down before they bring it back up again.
Bring them down a bit, you know what I mean? Get a bit of country, and then into the fucking Jimi Hendrix. Ease them into the guitar, do you know what I mean? Before we bring them
Throw some psychology in there, that's what you're doing.
Exactly, you know what I mean? The 3 steps, you know what I mean? Boom, boom, boom.
No, that's a gig I would go like. I can't say I'm a massive fucking Tupac fan, but Johnny Cash and Jimi Hendrix I get behind.
Jimi Hendrix, I just like. I would love to have like went to like Woodstock.
Aye.
You know what I mean? Like something like that. You know what I mean? Like the whole sort of, I've always like been kind of interested in like the whole sort of like hippie culture and all that. Like I just think that like that time in history was just insane. You know what I mean? Like that, like we thought about things being mad like in wrestling in like the, you know what I mean, late 80s and 90s, whatever. Like the whole, it seemed like the whole world was just a bit mental then. You know what I mean? I'd love to have like I got to see like Jimi Hendrix or something like, you know, like Woodstock or whatever. That would be like my sort of dream run, I guess.
Aye. Like, are you a big live music fan anyway, or just
no, just in general? I just think like the atmosphere of that would just be. You know what I mean? Obviously, it's easy to say that in hindsight. You know what I mean? But like, I just think it would be incredible.
Aye, no, like you said, like you see, fucking, like you say, you see documentaries about it, and it just looked fucking mental. Like I'm a big festival guy, or I used to be a big festival guy. I used to go to a lot of fucking festivals, but like you see Woodstock, and it's like, again, folk cutting about for like a whole fucking week. It's like, fuck me. Like, I couldn't imagine being at a festival for a whole fucking week.
You see, like the pictures and like all the motors all backed up from like,
aye,
and like all the people and everything. It just looks insane. Like I love like atmosphere stuff like that. Like if I was to see like Johnny Cash live, I'd want to see him in like some like dingy bar in Memphis. You know what I mean?
Aye.
It feels, if it's the atmosphere of it, it feels appropriate. You know
aye.
No, that would be Woodstock would be my main one. Jimi Hendrix at Woodstock.
Yeah, so I admit, like, it's no one I would have pegged you being a fucking Jimi Hendrix fan, but there we go.
I like it everything, man. Like,
aye.
I'll be saying Jimi Hendrix now, and I'll probably be listening to Elton John once I'm done here. I like it everything.
See, that's the thing. Like I say, I'm a big music guy, and like speaking to the guys doing the same thing, I like there's guys like saying things like you would never have fucking pegged them as being a fan of. It's like, holy.
It's a good question, man. Like, I get it's a bit different for the standard. Who's your favourite wrestler? No, it's cool, man. What would be like your three then?
My three, I did this a couple of episodes ago because nobody ever asked me till about fucking 17 episodes in. But mine's was AC/DC for like the Bon Scott era. Okay. was my opener. That's how wild like the Highway to Hell tour, or again, just the one before he died. Like, because he died the year I was born. I never saw it. Like, I saw Brian Johnson a couple of times, but I never saw Bon Scott. So like that would be my opener. My mid card was Anthrax when they played the Barrows in 2017, I think it was. They played a double set, and I couldn't make it because my fucking second kid was born. Right. I couldn't go, and like they're releasing it live on DVD and whatever, and it just looks fucking tremendous. Obviously, because it's in the fucking Barrows. It's like it's a venue that I've been to a few times.
Yeah, Barrows is sick, man.
And then my headliner was one or two. Well, it was Motorhead, but it was one or two gigs. It was either they played Port Vale Stadium in 1981 with the classic lineup of fucking Lemmy, Fast Eddie, and Filthy.
Yeah.
Which is widely regarded as, or it was in the Guinness Book of Records as the loudest gig in history. I don't know if it still is, but it used to be. Like, they had the Bossut pensioners that lived around the stadium to Blackpool for the day because it was that fucking loud.
Excellent.
So it was either that or I can't remember what the other one was. It was like one of the dates for like the Ace of Spades, like No Sleep for Hammersmith, the live album. Like seeing the big massive fucking bomber rig and just seeing that fucking tour live. So that would have been Motorhead was my headliner.
You probably know more about this than me, but was there some like Metallica concert? It was like it was like the biggest attendance for any sort of live event or whatever. I'm pretty sure it was like 1 million people or something like that. It was like something like ridiculous. I'm pretty sure
well, that would be one of the ones in Rio. Rock and Rio's maybe, I think.
I want to say Russia, to be honest.
Russia?
Somewhere. I'm pretty sure it was a Metallica concert. It was like some like, you know what I mean? Like the attendance number was like insane. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I kind of like the Rock and Rio's like obviously fucking because it's in Brazil. Like the fucking health and safety is very fucking lax. It's like well, we'll just bat like 500,000 folk in here. It's fine.
Something like that would be fucking wild, man. I can't imagine being in front of that many people. You know what I mean?
Like I've seen like a couple of like Metallica or fucking like Iron Maiden and all that. And you see the crowd shots. I was like, they folk out the back aren't seeing a fucking thing.
No. Lucky if they're hearing it.
Aye, but like that was mine's fucking AC/DC, Anthrax, and Motorhead. Because like I'm a big fucking metal guy. Just fucking.
I'm trying to act cool, but to be honest, like the best band that I've ever seen live was Earth, Wind and Fire. Like,
see, I like Earth, Wind and Fire. Like they're tight as fuck. Playing the game.
So good, man. They're all ancient, man, but like they still go for it.
For that many guys to be on stage and play that fucking tight, it's impressive.
It was brilliant, man. Like I mean, it was like Tina Parker seen them, and they were like the highlight of the weekend. Like, brilliant.
No, I can go a bit Earth, Wind and Fire if I'm in the mood. It's like I'm like kind of not obscure, but like ones like that I think are always like the most fun to like go and see live. I was really gutted that I missed like the Sugar Hill Gang done in the fucking box of all places, which is this like tiny wee bar on some street in Glasgow. So it was like kind of depressing that they were in the box, but at the same time I was like, of course I want to go see the Sugar Hill Gang. You know? Right. In fact, there was one. I think I've told this before, but like there was one Sonosphere festival we went to at Nebworth, and they used to get like a smaller kind of band to play like the Friday night or whatever to kick it off. So there was one year they had Bjorn again, kind of ABBA tribute band.
Yeah.
And my mum was fucking daft in ABBA when I was a kid, so like I got it in the car, so I can't bear fucking lyrics that I cared to fucking mention. So it's weird as fuck seeing just that crowd of fucking metal guys just singing along to fucking Dancing Queen on this caper. It's like mental. And that is one of the best nights at a gig I've ever had. Just seeing it's like ABBA tribute band.
I'd really like to go to like a metal concert or something in Denmark. I've never done it, but like I know that like heavy metal and that's really big in like Scandinavia, and I think that would be like a really good atmosphere.
Aye.
Like, not like anyone in particular that I want to see, but just like a metal concert in general in Denmark and Copenhagen specifically, I think would be a lot of fun. Aye,
I kind of like Scandinavia and in Germany. They're big in the metal there.
Yeah, 100%, absolutely, man. And that is exactly the kind of place where you could find like a metal band being opened by an ABBA tribute band. You know?
Aye.
That is like prime real estate for that.
Aye, all over that.
Yeah, 100%, man.
Get it booked.
Scandinavian crowd home happy, man.
Yeah, but with that, I think it's time to shut this down.
All good.
So we've had a laugh in the caper, so let's fill a couple of hours.
Yeah, absolutely, it was a really good time.
Thanks for coming on, and hopefully we'll see you down the road sometime. And fucking catch you back at WrestleZone.
Absolutely will, mate. I'm sure I'll be back up at WrestleZone at some point.
It's bound to happen.
Hassling Bill in the DMs.
Aye. We've got another rejected reunion going next year for the imports. What they're bringing in.
The people live again. Send Bubba this time.
Aye, but thanks for that. That's been fucking brilliant.
Thank you very much for having me on.